Welcome back, everybody. Let's get after it.
Hurry up.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh my God. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, oh my God.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh,
Look at the glass melting up there. The window melting.
they need to get him. Oh Jesus. Oh God. Oh God.
Get closer to it.
Hell, he can jump from there. I mean, good grief.
I'll be jumping, man.
They need to move that truck up. Oh my God.
I don't know why they're not evacuating this.
I think that we probably should be going.
That's time to evacuate the
Just get for it, man.
Hell yes. Oh, thank Jesus. Thank you, God. Oh my God. Oh no, my God.
Boy, it looks like if that guy would have stayed there another 60 seconds, he'd probably been done for. That top floor looked like it was fixing to collapse and bring the whole building down with it. That guy is extremely lucky.
I am so into reading forgotten books and spirituality, and the Vatican scares the absolute crap out of me. So I've been reading this book, The Secrets of the Vatican, and there is some crazy, crazy stuff in here. I was actually raised in the Catholic Church, and I still believe in God, but there is some kind of dark energy around the Vatican, and I think we should talk about it considering the season. First of all, let's talk about the fact that the Bible originally contained more books than are currently listed in the Bible. The Bible currently has 66 books, but these are some of the names of the deleted texts from the Bible that were removed by the Vatican. And look at the names of some of them, like the Book of Giants. A lot of these books talk about mystical creatures like giants and dragons and subjects like the apocalypse. And it's just like, why would you take them out? The Vatican Secrets book also talks about these 3 children from Portugal who claim that they witnessed the presence of the Virgin Mary. Mary gave each of them a secret. The 3rd secret was given to the youngest child, Lucia. This is her here as an adult, but it was never revealed until the Pope begged her. She sealed it in wax and gave it to him and said, "Do not open this until 1960. And the secret was apparently about the end of the world. She said that it was the persecution of Christians that would eventually cause the apocalypse. There's a section of the book that talks about the Vatican's proof of aliens. So apparently, if you've heard of the Anunnaki, which is a race of aliens, the Vatican apparently has proof that they exist. Not only that, but that they were the ones responsible for the massive structures built in Egypt, which is interesting when you consider this structure, St. Peter's obelisk in Vatican City, that was actually brought there from Egypt by someone from the Vatican, and it was used as the point of unaliving Christians at the base. Look it up. Not only that, but this book also talks about the fact that there is a mass graveyard underneath Vatican City from the Roman Empire that contains millions of bodies of pagans. All of this is interesting, especially when you consider the fact that in 1978, this Pope, John Paul I, was elected, and he didn't like what he saw in the Vatican. So he announced his plans to unveil a lot of the dark things that were going on. And then just 33 days later was found deceased, apparently by a heart attack. And he was found by another priest at the Vatican. Is this conspiracy or is there something to this? Let me know what you think in the comments and follow for more like this.
Tell you what stands out most to me out of that whole video is her statement that the end times will be brought on, signified by the persecution of Christians, because we're experiencing that right now. If you say Christ is king online, you're considered an anti-Semite. There is a lot of hate being thrown at the Christian community today.
Interesting. What age were people before the flood in having children? Well, Adam and Eve had Seth at the age of 130, Adam was. And then Seth had his child at 105. Enos had his child at 90. Canaan, 70. Mahalaleel, 65. Jared, 162 years of age. Enoch, 65. Methuselah, 187. Now, what's interesting is after the flood, oh, and by the way, Noah was 502 years old when he had his first son. And then after the flood, look at the ages that they had their children. 35, 30, 34, 30, 32, 30. Interesting, huh? What happened during this demarcation point before the flood and after the flood? Even the ages went down from 600 years, Noah being 950 years. Look at this, 433, 464, 239, 239. And it goes down from there. Very mysterious.
Now, I don't know how much faith I have in these depictions of the longevity of certain individuals' lives as depicted in Scripture, because I don't know how much I believe in Scripture. I'm still on the fence about a lot of it. But I do find it interesting in that the potential that there were people that lived to be 700, 800, 900 years old. It makes sense that people would have had to live longer in the early stages of the human development because there weren't as many people here. So you needed to live longer so you could have more kids and have a bigger family so that you have a better chance of populating the earth, because we didn't have that many people yet. So it makes sense why people would live so long. I just don't know that I believe it. Well, all I can think about when watching that is, what if you got too close to that thing in a boat, like a regular old fishing boat? You'd be screwed, because it turned that whole barge into sheet metal. It just folded that thing up like a piece of paper. Hey, if you like this video and you enjoy this kind of content, I make a new one just like it every other day. It'd be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back to join me.
Federal report today predicted possible catastrophic warming of the earth.
So you're telling me climate change is a real thing. So right here is a time-lapse video. You can see the oceans right there, and a city is being built right here. Doesn't look like the ocean's moving very much. This is the Plymouth Rock at sea level, and it was installed in 1620. And the Plymouth Rock is still at sea level in the 1920s. Fast forward to 2023, while the Plymouth Rock still remains above sea level.
Government puts out about $2.5 billion directly for climate research every year. It only gives that money to scientists who will produce scientific results that support the global warming hypothesis of the Democrat Party position. So they don't have any choice. If you're going to get the money, you got to support their position. Therefore, 97% of the scientific reports published support global warming. Why? Because those are the ones the government pays for, and that's where the...
So the scientists that are saying that global warming is real is getting money from the government. And if you're a scientist that knows that global warming is not real, well, you're not going to get any funds from the government.
I tell you, those satellite videos showing that city being built with the ocean not rising right next to it. That's enough proof right there. That and the Plymouth Rock thing, the sea levels are not changing. This whole global warming thing, in my opinion, is just a way to move money around and get it into your own pocket. That's why these elites are so heavily focused on this. It's not because they're worried about something bad happening to us. That's obvious, because they don't care if anything bad happens to us.
If you know, you know. Time to expose another pizza file, if you know what I'm saying. Seth Green.
Seth turned to me and opened up this secret bookshelf, and he's like, "This is where we keep the children." And I was like, I tried to just put it out of my mind, but then about a month later, Seth, Claire, and I were having a dinner at their house, and Seth said, "We now need to have a talk about chicken." And I was like, oh God. And then he basically admitted that he's a pedophile.
Now I want you to take note on how he said they need to have a talk about chicken when you watch this next video.
Happy to have you here. I think we've met before. I was trying to figure that too, because I've been such a fan of yours for
so let me just say, he's been a big fan of his, but he doesn't know if they met before. And now watch how they talk about chicken and robot chicken. Watch this shit.
I'm trying to figure that too, because I've been such a fan of yours for so long. But vice versa, I'm a big robot chicken fan. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, I've never gotten to do this show, and I just think we'd actually met.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
We might have matched on some dating app at some point. I think I just got swiping.
Could be. I'm always open. Now, people know you from a lot of things. Austin Powers, Buffy, Entourage. But of course, I was saying, I know you from Robot Chicken.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
You see how they're making a joke out of it, throwing it right in our faces. He knows him from Robot Chicken, and that's so fun. Obviously, he's like the producer of Robot Chicken, but those who can see what's going on, you know what's going on here.
Strangers give me their kids all the time. We've talked about this before, but it's still current. Whenever I meet people, they'll be like, oh, take a picture with my baby, hold my baby. Here, get close
I
to my
get that
baby.
too. They
Take a
hold
picture
you,
with my
they
baby.
hand you their baby. They don't know who we are as real people.
Don't worry, guys. We know who you really are. Alright, I got one last clip, and then I'm probably going to make a part 2, because there's more on this subject.
It's this crazy thing going on in Hollywood right now, where the LAPD
Of course,
Threat
TMZ.
Management Department is involved in a case with Paris Jackson, Seth Green, and Seth's wife, because a guy, this actor whose name is Isaac Cappy, he has been going after them.
This whole video is pretty much about them discrediting Isaac Cappy. And for those of you who don't know, Isaac Cappy is actually dead now, and he apparently committed suicide, but I have plenty of videos showing that he's not suicidal. Stay tuned.
Man, this is the first time that I've heard this stuff about Seth Green. It seems like this depravity and stuff touches almost everyone in Hollywood. It doesn't seem like anyone escapes it. It's where you go in the career that you try to have if you're wanting to be a sexual deviant. That's what it appears like. All these people flock to Hollywood not because they want to be actors, but because they know that's where they can get away with some really, really bad crap. And just to be clear, I don't think that's what's going on. I think once people get into Hollywood, I think that they're either blackmailed into doing some bad stuff, or they're surrounded by people who are doing such bad things it becomes commonplace, and they become immune to the negative side effects or the repercussions or the guilt and stuff that would come with doing some of these negative things.
Wait, so we actually now know what happens when you die? Yep. There were studies done where they brought people into hypnosis, and here's how they described what death is like. First, they would describe floating above their body and being a little bit shook, like, wait, I'm dead? And they look down and they actually see their body. At this point, whatever their belief is very important, because if they believe death is absolutely nothing, they're going to be a little bit confused. And the first thing they realize is that free will still exists in this sort of state. So you're still on Earth, you're just kind of floating around. Which means that, yes, most people go to their own funeral. They actually go to their memorial service and listen to what people have to say about them. Why? I mean, wouldn't you? If you had free will, wouldn't you be curious about what people were saying at your funeral? And because you have free will, you can hang out here as long as you want. But eventually, everyone goes through the infamous Tunnel of Light. Tunnel of Light is described as a portal, almost like a highway into another dimension. And this other place that they go is described as the spirit realm. And this is where souls go after they pass away. A heavenly-like place, much, much better than Earth. And in fact, described as much more real than Earth. And the very first thing people do when they get there, party. They have this big old celebration with all their soul family, all these souls they've known for many, many lifetimes. They describe it as the most incredible experience they've ever had. In fact, while they're describing this experience, usually during hypnosis, they are literally crying. They're like, finally, I'm home. But on a side note, check out that spirit realm jean dress. Here's where things start to get interesting. Also have free will here, so you can do whatever you want. People are described as recreating their childhood homes and reconnecting with souls they've known for a really long time. There's also some intimacy, and I mean like much more than Earth. When you meet one of your soulmates, you can merge with them. You get all up in their business, think of it like the best hug ever. But here's the cool part. When you're doing this mergy soul hug, you're actually able to see their lifetimes. So it's like this intimate experience where you can like enter their consciousness. After that, they describe going to this library, essentially this place where they review their last life. How did I do in my last life? Did I learn some lessons? Did I grow? Did I evolve? Did I not? Because there's a lot of planning that goes into each life, so now it's time to review it. They describe being able to open these books and you go into them. That's like a book of your life. And you can go to any point in your life. You can see it from above, or you can see it from your actual eyeballs, and you witness again to learn from it. When they're describing this part, it sounds like they're trying to describe technology that doesn't exist. Like if someone 2,000 years ago is trying to describe an iPhone or an airplane. So after this, maybe you do this again, but eventually you're given the opportunity to choose your next life. You get to choose where you're born, when you're born, you choose your parents, you choose if you're going to meet your soulmate, you make all these things called soul agreements, so that this next life is going to be a life that you're going to evolve and grow. So what do you need to learn in this next life? You're going to set that up for yourself through these soul agreements or soul contracts. Keeping in mind you do have free will, so you don't have to do them. But a soul agreement might be to meet your soulmate at a specific place. Oh, also you have this soul family that you travel through time with, so you're going to go back into Earth with a group of souls, like around 15 souls, to like your best friends, soulmate vibe, family members you absolutely love. They might be different roles in each life, but you travel through time with these different souls. There's also an interesting technology that's described in this part, which is where you can look into a potential future life. Like you have multiple options, like those parents, they're about to have a kid, and you can project yourself and kind of see what that life most likely will be like. Granted, the future hasn't been written yet, so it's like kind of an estimation. And when they do that, they usually say that, yeah, they then choose it based on that. And once they choose the life, guess what happens? Back to Earth we go. That is if you chose Earth as the planet you want to be born on. At this point, they describe actually there's a process where the soul merges with the body of the baby. There's like a two become one sort of merging thing that then, of course, when you die, it unmerges. But yeah, I thought this whole process was pretty interesting, pretty cool. So all of this was described by people under hypnosis called past life regression hypnotherapy, essentially where you bring someone into a past life using hypnosis. And when they describe how they died in that past life, this is what they say. It doesn't matter what they believe in waking world, they talk about it in this exact same way. And this didn't just happen once, like we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of times. The Newton Institute alone did 70,000 studies on this. Everyone continuously described this spirit realm after this human experience. If you have any questions, I would absolutely love to answer your questions. Drop them in the chat. This whole subject is one of the most interesting things that I've stumbled upon. And I've been working with some of the top past life regressionists on this planet to essentially create audio hypnosis versions of their past life regression sessions, so ones that you can do from home. If you're interested in doing that and learning about your own past lives, you can check out my free past life masterclass, which is on my profile. And if you'd like to stay on Soul Talk and continue learning about your beautiful soul, tap that follow button.
So I have a lot of opinions on this. I've been heavily researching this topic for a good month now, getting ready for our first episodes of the podcast. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on my thoughts and opinions on this. I just simply want to state that through my research, through past life regression hypnosis therapies that have shown what the other side is supposed to be like, I've actually, on accident, started studying or looking into near-death experiences and the correlation or similarities between near-death experiences and what people experience when doing a past life regression therapy session are so similar. The similarities are so close. It is absolutely mind-blowing. There has to be something to this.
In 1964, they had determined, at least this is in the NATO study, and I know for a fact that this is the conclusions that had been reached by our own military as early as 1949. Number one, the planet Earth is and has been the subject of an extensive, massive, a very thorough and detailed study by several extraterrestrial civilizations. Now that's an attention getter in itself. Number two, these civilizations have demonstrated an extremely advanced technology, possibly hundreds or even thousands of years beyond our own. It gets better. There seems to be a process or a plan of some kind unfolding. The studies indicated and demonstrated that a development of some kind of program was underway. Evidence collected indicated that the program has been going on for a very long time, possibly hundreds or even thousands of years, and some of my associates, research fellows, and I have concluded it's probably been going on longer than that. The study concluded that there did not appear to be a major military threat involved in 1964. that if they, whoever they are, were malevolent or hostile, there was absolutely nothing we could do, because the level of technology that had been demonstrated was so far beyond anything we had in 1964, that we felt that if they were hostile or malevolent, the game was up. It was all over with.
You know, and this just makes me feel like there can't be an alien invasion going on. I think that if there is some sort of an alien being here, that they're not malevolent, or they don't have ill will toward us. I think that they would just make themselves known and not worry about what the government thinks. They would just expose themselves and be like, hey, we're here, and here's what we're going to do. Get over it. And, you know, I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that we have aliens here on the earth. I think it's outside the realm of possibility that there's a sudden uptick out of nowhere in alien activity, and the government's not aware of why. I think that the government's very aware of it because I think they're the ones responsible for it, and I think that this is all a psyop so that they can usher in this one world government. So, I mean, with the evidence is there that these things have been visiting us for at least decades, if not thousands of years. So if they were going to suddenly try to invade and attack us, they would have done it by now. They wouldn't wait and give us time for us to be aware of their presence and slowly start exposing themselves by showing up more and more in more locations and allowing us to get more video footage of them and become more aware of their presence and then attack us. That doesn't make any sense at all. But guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back in a couple of days with another video. I hope you come back to join me. I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.